All right, we are here with Corbin Carroll. You know where I'm going to start, Dallas. First question: Us 5'10" guys, we got to stick together. My junior year of high school, I was told, "Hey, it's not happening for you." I'm sure at some point in your baseball life, someone said, you might not have the size, whatever. Did you ever have that conversation? Why did you ignore that person and blow past that to end up being like a top 10 MVP in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I'll say there's a lot more 5'10" guys in baseball than you'd think, and a lot of guys
It's
lie.
true.
I mean, that's but
I know.
little rounding error sometimes there, but no, I feel like growing up, I didn't have too many coaches like that. I feel like everyone was just like, if you can play, you can play.
Sure.
What? Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, I was going to say, because, I feel like, not that it matters because your numbers are your numbers, but I feel like people put you into this box of like speed guy, like, oh, he can steal bases and he can leg out triples, but you just had over 30 pumps this year. Like, you're coming off a big time career season and you still kept up with the speed element of your game, but you're also adding premier power to that. Is that just development? Is that like your workout regimen? Is it just like a natural thing that happens? Or did you say, I want to add this to my game, so I'm just going to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like uh, I feel like there's a narrative and whatever. But I've always kind of felt like power was a part of my game, even through high school. Maybe not like a ton of homers, but a lot of extra base hits. And came in my rookie year and thought I hit for some power. Year after that, 24, a little bit of a down year for me, but this year, just kind of felt like I found a little bit more consistency, and kind of added on to what I did in 23.
And has that been a focus? Because I'll tell you right now, you're familiar with my partner in the booth, Chris Carey, who each and every time your name comes up, I get 10 minutes of future Hall of Famer, and I'm not going to call it diatribe because the numbers speak for themselves. But it's not a rebuttal. I always kind of remind him of why I speak and think so highly of you. And I think Jared just kind of touched on it, is because you, for me, are a part of the new wave of player that is coming along where there is power there. There is speed there. There is more than adequate defensive capability there. You are a new wave of player that is impacting the game on so many different levels. And I want to know if that was ever something that you consciously decided that I need to do these things, or have you just been, I guess, blessed, and have we just been lucky enough to watch you fucking rake, run, and dig like a goddamn maniac? Like, every bit of it is fucking exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think a little bit of it is the way I'm wired. Like, I want to be good at everything.
Yeah.
And when someone tells me that I can't be, it makes me want to do it more. But yeah, I think you're right. I think there is a new wave of players where it's like, at the end of the day, you care about creating value as opposed to like how you create that value, right? Like, I might be able to sacrifice some thump and hit for a little bit more average, but I think the player I am overall in that scenario is probably a little bit worse in terms of the value I'm creating.
Yeah, because some of the comps, like when we start to look, if like the comps, we're talking about guys, when you're talking speed, power combination, you look up the baseball reference page and they're throwing around names like through your age 23 season, 25, like we're talking Barry Bonds. Like, those are the names that are getting dropped on you. And it's because of what we're just talking about right now. Has there been, or was there somebody that you maybe subconsciously decided to model your game after, or a player that you looked at and said, you know what? I like the way that guy goes about it, because I think it's a very interesting point you make about creating overall value and not being sort of a one-trick pony, whether it's just the power that you're bringing to the table, or it's just the defensive prowess that you're bringing to the table, or it's just bat-to-ball skill. You are so well-rounded. Was there somebody that you looked at and said, I like that dude's game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easy ones that stick out for me that I kind of watched growing up, looking at their swings on YouTube and highlights, it was like Trout, obviously, Altuve, Christian Yelich. Those were kind of Mookie, and Bregman. I'd say those 5 guys for me kind of stand out as still remember, being in high school or even younger, 14 years old, getting on YouTube and just trying to break down their swing a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of guys that lie about being 6 feet, your the contract extension. I'm curious about your mindset because there are guys that get paid and it's a relief. They're like, I don't have to worry about this. I can take care of my family. I can take care of myself. Then there are some guys where it's like, oh shit, now I have to live up to this. Clearly you have continued to live up to it and then some. What was the thought process once you signed? And I guess kind of like a couple seasons removed now from it. Like, is there still relief or is there still like a pressure to live up to it? Or you just go out there and it's like, I'm taken care of, so I can just be me now.
I think the last part that you said, definitely feel that. I think this game, especially for young players, is so hard because there's so much. There's just not a lot of security, and I think having a little bit of security my rookie year, last year of like, hey, you're probably going to be on the team. Um, can't really play that back and forth game. I think that really helped, and then also in terms of mindset, I would just say, when I signed my deal, and even, I mean, still today, I haven't really, I haven't done what I'm trying to do in this game, and so I think just a lot of it, that mindset is about going out there and like proving the people that believed in me, proving them right, and wanting to do right by them.
What does that mean that you haven't done what you've set out to do in the game yet?
I mean, I think just I want to do it for a long time, and
Okay,
that's tough to do. So
for sure.
I think it's just absolute, and I laugh, but it's because I fully appreciate the mindset because I was the same way. The year after I was our team's opening day starter, which took like a massive swing of luck for me to end up in that spot. But even going into spring training that next year, had a pretty good year that year. And I go into spring training and I'm talking to our broadcaster at the time, Ray Fosse, and Foss is talking to me like, we're talking about what the rotation's going to look like. And we're talking about what the depth chart looks like. And he just asked me, how I'm thinking. And my response was, Foss, I just want to make the team. And he kind of like grabbed me. He was like, what are you talking about, man? You were the opening. And here you are like coming off like you're getting MVP votes, top 5 MVP finisher. You're the rookie of the year. You back that up with another great year. And you still are humble enough to look at the scenario like, I just want to make the team. I just want to be a part of that. What has led to you being so humble? Because I was jokingly with our guy RDT talking about you being a dick, and you could easily be one of the nicest guys in baseball, but there's something that lights that fire. What is it?
I think it's just an internal desire. I feel like a lot of the things that I do aren't for just to make someone else happy, or like um, for like an external reason. I love this game, and I just I want to dedicate what I can to it, and so that's the way that I view it. Most of the decisions I'd say I make are centered around baseball, and yeah, it's just I really enjoy it.
Is it a job to you, or like someone like, what we do? Like we were live streaming the playoff games. We were in here for 10 hours a night for like a month straight. And then the World Series ends in a 7th game. And I thought for sure that I would need a breather from baseball. But the first night of no baseball, I'm on YouTube watching clips of games from the 90s. Like, is that how you are? Like, are you like, it's the off season. You're obviously going to do your workouts and things of that nature. But are you keeping up with, the news and MLB Network? Are you watching baseball stuff on YouTube? Or is it just like, I play baseball from February through hopefully the end of October, but like in the off season, I'm just Corbin?
I would say pretty involved in baseball still. Like I want to be educated. I view that as part of the job, and so I think I think if I don't need to disconnect from baseball, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, probably a little bit more in that boat.
How are you going about retrieving that education or seeking it out?
Um, I mean, I guess education and more just like staying up to date, like knowing players, knowing, movement. I think that's big, but also too like seeking out better understanding of myself. I think is always a huge goal, and this off season no different. So I'd say pretty much like the last 2 to 3 weeks, it's been centered around trying to find some different biomechanical markers that hopefully I can create a system of monitoring during the year, and like maybe that helps me stay on the tracks a little bit more often and not have so many ruts.
You trying to go do some ayahuasca and watch hitting videos?
I have not tried that one yet.
No? All right. Well, my question is, when we talk about educating yourself, I want to know what sort of relationship you have, and this is a question I ask pitchers all the time. But what sort of relationship you have with the information that's available to you? Because you talking about biomechanical markers is essentially, and what I deduce from that is you want to be able to be your own best hitting coach in the moment, which is you can pick up on cues, things that you aren't doing in the moment, things that you aren't executing well. And that's an adjustment that you would like, if possible, to make within the at bat. And if not that quickly, at least be able to make that adjustment in the next at bat. What are some things based on the technology that is available to you and the resources that are available to you that you have found yourself honing in on or prioritizing, because those are the things that give you the best feedback?
Yeah, I think trying to be pretty all encompassing in my approach, looking at some stuff in the weight room, making sure that's not an issue with range or strength or anything in that regard. And then from there, making sure that just my movement patterns, I'm moving well. I would say, yeah, a little bit more all encompassing, and then trying to have two or three keys that like, hey, if these are the most common places I get off track. Like if I really just focus on these three things, I'm gonna move well, but at the same time have freedom and not just like stiffen myself up with
Right.
too much info.
Can you give us an example? I know, and I respect this. Where guys don't want to, you might not want to divulge too many things, the areas in which you find yourself compromised at times. But is there a moment, and maybe it happened earlier in your career, where you said, "Oh, you know what? I was able to identify this, and this kind of helped me get back on track." Was there a moment that you can kind of recall?
Yeah, I mean, I could give a couple examples from last off season. I've always been a guy that's kind of a closed strider, like stride towards the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And a big focus of me last off season was like not pushing onto the ball of my foot too early, and then not losing my hip flexion too early. Maintain some of that hinge just a little bit longer. Those two things, and then one more thing, upper body. Those were kind of my keys throughout the off season, and really like the place that got me to. I'd say some similar stuff this year. Yeah.
How important, if important at all to you, is it to have someone at the helm of your organization like Mike Hazen, who played professionally? He also, as an executive, I mean, he worked his way up the ranks from different organizations, like was in player development, and now he's calling the shots as someone that played pro ball. How important do you think that is to have the person in that position have the experience of a pro baseball player?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think that people can do a good job from all sorts of walks and have proven that. But I definitely appreciate having Hayes, and I think there's just a little bit of more of an understanding of the feelings, the emotions of a player, and it's not all just numbers and X's and O's out there. It's there's the human element to the game, and it's hard to quantify. But I think having played definitely helps in that regard.
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, I just I saw the recent news on you was that you'd agreed to join Team USA for the WBC. And I was just curious what your thoughts on that are, your level of anticipation, excitement, because I think I speak for all three of us when I say we're very excited for the event and we don't have the opportunity to play. So
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's really just one of the biggest honors that I feel like you can have. I got to do it in what 2018 with a couple of the guys that are going to be on the team this year, and Bobby Witt and Pete Crow Armstrong. So it's just, I mean, we remember talking about it then, right? Like, imagine if we could do this in the big leagues. Like, it's just, it's really unreal, surreal to think about that. And yeah, it was a huge goal of mine going into the season to play well enough to be considered. And I just yeah, I can't wait.
Does it feel like that sense of pride, just to pull the curtain back a little bit, does it feel like that sense of pride does take over, that it's the sense of pride that jumps in the driver's seat and is really steering the entire team there? Because coming from different organizations, that all goes away because you have the country, the most important organization, and you're wearing that across your chest. Does it feel like everybody sort of just gets on board? There doesn't have to be a conversation about the idea that we're playing for something bigger than ourselves and bigger than our teams. This is about a whole lot of other people who just enjoy this sport and enjoy what we do.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's the mindset is all hands on deck, all boundaries removed. It's just whatever you have to do to win for the country. That's what it takes.
Fucking love it.
Who are you most excited to be able to call a teammate?
Well, I think they've only announced like 6 people so far. Like I said earlier, like playing with Bobby and Pete's going to be pretty surreal. And then I'm excited to share an outfield with Aaron Judge. I mean, to be able to tell someone that's really special.
Call the ball. We don't need you getting ran over, dog. That is not a collision we want to see.
Yeah, I heard I'll be playing left, so I'll let whoever's in center, like they can have whatever they want.
With the way that you burst onto the scene, and I mean dripping with talent, there are still adjustments that have to be made in this game. And as well as anybody, the minute the second you think you've got something figured out, you get slapped across the face with league-wide adjustments, and you are left trying to do that, whether it's catch up or just make the adjustment. What was one of the first or the initial adjustments that you felt like you had to make, or the eye-opening moment for you when you realized, you know what, I'm good, but this game asks a lot of us each and every day? Do you have a moment that you can go back to, or just sort of that realization, like, oh, I remember this moment, this at bat, whatever it was?
Yeah, I would say the second half of 23, playing but not physically feeling like 100%. I think that's kind of the first time where I had that, and it wasn't just, the normal wear and tear of a season. You get to game, 150 and you're dragging, but just like have a few things going on. I think that was definitely an eye opener of like the healthier you can stay over 162, the better spot you're going to put yourself in. So I'd say that. I'd say making some changes in the offseason of 23 that were more health related, but put me in like a bad spot. And then going into 2024 with those mechanics, really, that sucked.
Well, you were playing hurt. I mean, you're dealing with, that's something that I don't know that a lot of people ever give enough guys credit for is, and I know how important it is to have guys that are healthy and performing. I also know how valuable it is to have dudes who are not healthy still going out and giving us every bit of what they have. So that had to be a learning experience for you.
Yeah, and I'll push back a little bit there. I wouldn't say I was injured, but I was not 100%. I think there's a distinction there. That I don't want to, give the wrong message, but
no, sure.
Yeah, I think it's a tough game. You have to stay adaptable. Adaptability is, I would tell anyone, that's just probably up there number one for me in terms of the difference between being a big leaguer and not, is being able to make those adjustments as quickly as possible, because the game will throw all sorts of stuff at you.
Your first taste of postseason baseball resulted in a run that went all the way to the World Series. For you, what was the biggest difference in postseason play versus regular season play? Obviously, the stakes are higher, the crowds are more intense, but in terms of the game, like if we can remove the crowd and the environment, what were the biggest differences between postseason baseball and regular season baseball?
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously facing, on average, like a better pitcher on the mound every time you're up to bat, and so I think I think the game can require and did require for us specifically that postseason, a little bit more small ball. We had a bunch of guys bunting, um, but then also like you got to hit some homers too, and
Mm.
so I think that there's just a little bit of doing what the situation's called for. How quickly like a starter can leave the game and a guy can give you 3 innings and be out of there. So I think that like it's just like unless you've got an ace on the mound, you're probably not going to see a guy 3 times. They're going to bring in that lefty for you. Go left on left. Um, those were probably the biggest things.
So,
You've had an incredible beginning to your career. Jared just talked about making a run all the way to the postseason, all the way to the World Series. Have you had your aha moment in the big leagues yet? Have you had that moment where you've kind of stepped back and taken stock of where you're at, what you've already done? And I know there's so much more to be achieved, but have you had that moment where you realize not only do I belong, but damn, that was sweet, or I'm here?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that like I've realized that I can have bad stretches and have times where I suck, and that doesn't mean that like I'm a bad player, and just having a little bit more understanding of like even some of these top tier guys, like they go through it too, and I think that's helped me relax a little bit and just be willing to be willing to put in work for the long haul, right? Like it doesn't need to. If I'm off, it all doesn't need to get fixed in one day, right? Like
Sure.
if I take 300 swings, that's gonna put me in a worse position for the game. Even though it feels good mentally, like, oh, I'm working, like I'm gonna be shot for the game and um, just do a disservice to myself. So I would say that along those lines, that's kind of what I feel there.
I mean, we just mentioned the World Series run. We're a couple of years removed from the D-backs World Series run, but since then, the Dodgers have won back-to-back World Series titles. Sharing a division with a team like that, does it motivate someone like you to see someone within your own division winning back-to-back World Series titles? Does it matter who won the World Series? Is it always, this eagerness to win the World Series every single year? Or does it the fact that it's a team within your own division, does that sort of, I guess, affect how you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit more history there. But I think I feel like ever since I've gotten up, we've played them decent. And so I've heard a lot. It seemed like before I got there, it was kind of big brother, little brother. Everyone got just had some trauma from getting their shit kicked in over the years. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like since we've played them, like you definitely get up for those games, but you feel like you can um, you feel like you can match those guys. You feel like every night you've really got a chance to go out there and win a ball game.
Have you had an opportunity, and it sounds like you are cerebral enough to where you are not only analyzing yourself, you're analyzing probably the game as a whole, your team as a whole. What are some things that because you've said it, and I love it, the idea that you're not pleased, there's so much more to achieve. What is something that you think you need to do to take your game, or something that you would like to do to be able to take your game to that next level? A level that maybe you feel like you're not at yet for whatever reason. Because again, I'll push back there and say, I think the numbers bear out just what kind of player you are and what you do bring to the table. But knowing you expect more of yourself, what is an area of concentration that you might have?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think offensively it will be finding a way to maintain the power profile that I put together last year while improving plate discipline, swing decisions a little bit. I
Okay.
think that there's just some that's probably where the biggest room for growth is. I would say defensively, I felt like I made some strides with my arm last year. Threw a bunch of dudes out. Had a little stronger arm, but I still think that's an area of the game where teams can attack me, be a little bit aggressive, send a runner in my face, and I just want to get to the point where that arm's a little bit of a strength for me, and I think I can get there. I just man, throwing's tough. I don't know how you pitchers do it.
Buddy, I don't. That's why my shit's falling off and I'm talking to you right now because it is not that easy. When you talk about swing decisions, pitch selection, maintaining a power profile, do you believe that is something that is inside of you? Meaning that's something that you're going to study about yourself? Or do you think that might lead you down a path of studying your opponent more, understanding their tendencies and allowing that to put you in a more aggressive swing mode per the situation, right? Understanding you feel comfortable about the 2-1 offering and the numbers kind of tell you what you might be getting. Now you may be that much more comfortable in either looking for a pitch or looking for a spot. Is that something that you find yourself doing? Because how I phrase it is the opponent component or the self component. So when you're studying something, do you find yourself looking more towards what you are doing? Or is it about understanding what the opponent is trying to do to you?
Yeah, I think both. I think both, but I think there's also scenarios in which it doesn't necessarily matter what the opponent's trying to do, and like that if you can master what you want to do, you're going to be in the best spot. But I would still say a little bit of both. Is definitely required.
You're the gold standard for triples in baseball right now. Got
to get ballparks for it.
Yeah. Do you have fun when you hit them? Like we talk like, oh, more triples in the game. Like when you're flying around the bases going for 3, are you just like, this is fucking awesome? Like,
I like hitting triples. I like it. The different, like, it's just an extra 1,000 on the OPS every time you turn a double and no triple. So
yeah,
it's not to love there, but yeah, I think too, just like with 0 or 1 outs, like being able to give your team a chance to get a run without having to get a hit, I think is huge. And yeah, just always looking to take the extra base, but be smart about it.
Everyone's got their one. The video, whether they have it saved in their phone or it's in like the friends from home group text, that one play where you just get to taste yourself over and over and over and over again. Is it a throw? Is it a homer? Is it a postseason moment? Swiping a bag? Is it a triple? That one video that you've watched your own highlight more times than you care to admit. I know you have one. Please share it.
That's a tough question. I mean, the easiest part of that answer is it's definitely not a throw. I mean, yeah, it just hitting like a no doubter. It's like that. There's a couple.
Which one comes to mind?
You're clipping fucking big leaguers. You're clipping Cy Young candidates. You've got somebody in mind. Come on.
I would say there was there was a homer hit off Verlander, where it's just like I felt like I played the mind games pretty well. Like I had a good understanding of what was coming, and it was the first time where I really like
cheated?
I knew a curveball was coming, and just throughout that work in the off season, like there'd been some good work to really try and be able to cover those well, and I did what allowed me to do that, and it all clicked. It was one of those where it all clicked.
Give me
What's
like
going
a
on in your
range,
head?
like how many times have we watched that clip?
I think a good bit, just because like try and watch that swing and be like, all right, curveballs, yeah, right there. That's one.
I feel that.
Who's the dude right now? If you could wake up any pitcher, or if you could tab any pitcher to test the metal against, not a guy that you're squaring off against right now, but maybe a pitcher from the past that you would have an opportunity to dig in against, who would that pitcher be, and why do you want to feel that dude in the box?
I mean, whatever dudes are on Twitter saying like, "Oh, my 90 back in the day was 98." Like, whoever's out there saying that, I mean, I just, yeah, that'd be fun to kind of see, just for myself too. Maybe they were really throwing that hard. I don't know.
I mean, Bob Feller's out throwing fucking mini bikes back in the day, dude. We got video of that.
That's awesome.
Dallas, you want to hot tub it?
Ooh. All right. Along the same vein here, my friend, you get to jump in a hot tub time machine,
like
and we're taking you back to it's always a fucking hot tub time machine. It's the best hot tub they got going, pal.
It's standard.
Hot tub time machine back in baseball history. Any moment in baseball history, you get to be there. You get to witness it. You can't participate. You're not playing. You're just in the stands watching. What moment in baseball history are you going back to?
I mean, being a D-back, I'll go 01. I could literally be sitting in that Chase Field hot tub.
Yeah.
that Gonzo's walk-off hit in Game 7.
It's true. I got smoked by a home run ball out there in June when I was doing the draft combine. That was like my third year in a row that I've done it. And that year I just showed up. I was like, I don't know what it is. I feel like this is the year that I'm going to get hit by one. And it was like 10 minutes into the first round of BP, and some, like, I don't know, 5'5" kid just smoked a home run like off my foot. Great place. That's what we should be doing, Dallas. Like, I'm pretty sure we can like rent that whole area to just take in a game like in the pool. I'm pretty sure you can like have it to yourself, have it to like your own party.
Yes, we can. I'll go fucking hang out in the buddy. I've already been swimming out in that pool. I got a fucking homer in that pool during batting practice. Well, I'm laying in a float. Chip Hale was a skipper at the time. I'm laying in a fucking tube with a glove on. Ball hit. Bam. Caught it in the pool. Factual statement.
Lot more difficult to do that when your back is to home plate, but it is what it is.
Yeah, whatever. Hold on. Before we let him go, something I want to ask you about. Card collection.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you are into baseball cards. I know that you are a collector. What got you into it? What got you back into it to start with? And then I'll ask you a follow-up question. But how did that get going for you?
Yeah, what got me into it was just going to Mariners games, and you're 8 years old, and the ushers give you the little like 5 or 6 cards and take those home, and that was my initial collection. It's kind of been cool though, like going home last 2 years, like looking through those cards. It's like, oh, some guys that like are still around the game, or like I've met. So I had Randy Johnson sign a card for me from that collection. It's beat the shit, but it's like my dude card.
That's awesome. That's great. Like, have you thought about sending that in for grading? Because
I did. It got like a 5, I think.
Dude, no shame in it, because I did the same thing. When I pulled all the cards back down, I went through all the cards that I had collected when I was a kid, and I sent all of those in for grading, because I had never sent a card in for grading before. I didn't care that they were going to come back 3s, 4s, 5s. I didn't give a shit. Corners missing, I don't care. Those were my first ones. What do you have you developed like any habits in the hobby, like personal collector items? Are you putting together any sets? Is that like a thought of yours, or is it really just kind of, whatever you kind of feel like gravitating towards in the moment?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll share what I'm thinking. What's got the wheels spinning out a little bit right now, but
Let's go.
I'd love to get some sort of charity component out of it, where get PSA to make me a custom label, and it's the CC7 charitable fund, and I'm got some cards I'm getting graded, and you can buy a card for me, and it's from that it's got the CC7 on there, like
Yeah.
it's from me, and just kind of share that love, be able to auction some cards off for charity, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, we should connect, my friend, because I know some folks over there, and you understand that they do that now. So for you, when you put together a set or something like that, that label can reflect that this is Corbin Carroll's collection.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. I know Ryan over there, so I'm gonna have to hit him one of those days.
Yeah, you're dialed in. You're dialed in. But yeah, because I know a lot of folks hit me up and ask me, hey, do you know of any guys that collect blah blah blah? And you're a name that because you and I have been at a couple of events together where we're opening cards and bullshitting, and I just think I think it's cool to watch players, especially players of your caliber, still take an interest in some of the other things that draw fans to the game, and I think kind of reveal your personality to the fans. So I'm always excited when I see players sort of gravitate towards the hobby and actually give a shit about it to an extent, as opposed to just showing up to open free cards and they don't really care about them. And I get that, but I've noticed how much you do kind of pay attention to the hobby and how much you consider it something more than just a free a free break. So I just wanted to ask about the collection. That's all I got.
Cool. Corbin Carroll, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to do this again sometime.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Anytime.
Right on. Ayahuasca hitting videos coming soon.